All right, welcome to September's drawing video of Gunfighter La Vida. Um, this was a month that I really struggled to come up with a drawing for the month that I would be happy with. It's just kind of one of those things where inspiration wasn't hitting, and so I had to kind of cobble something together to the best I could. And having just played the Battlefield 6 beta. That was kind of on my mind, and so I was like, well, I guess I'll do something in line with that. And so here we are, Gunfighter La Vida. For those who may be new, my name is Lacking a Name, and I do a webcomic called Gnosis, and this is for the monthly voting drawing that I do every month for it. So if you can get this drawing in a Patreon exclusive drawing by becoming a Patreon subscriber, and you can always just come and read Gnosis for free. So it's a pretty good story. I've enjoyed writing it, and there's been more than a few people who I think have enjoyed reading it. So yeah, come on by and enjoy that. So along with, aside from just a time lapse of the drawing, I'm going to tell some stories for this month. I don't know why I'm acting like this hasn't been something that I've been doing now for 9 months. That this is a ninth one of these videos I've done. I think just a little tired. It's been a long week. A lot happened, but never mind that. So, in line with kind of the gunfighter thing, I had an idea for this month, and it was obviously I haven't done much gunfighting, but I did a lot of airsofting when I was a kid. So back when in my early teenage years, airsoft became a very big thing. And for those who don't know what an airsoft is, it's basically a gun that will use a puff of air to fire a plastic projectile BB. These are usually at very low velocities, so they won't cause any real damage. They might leave a welt or a bruise. With some of the more really nasty ones out there, they might make a little cut, but we didn't use those. So airsofting became a really big thing among the younger teenagers, and I think even some of the older ones. And so me and my brother, we got our very first airsoft guns, and they were little battery-powered Uzis that you just opened up a kind of a slide at the top and poured your BBs into a hopper that would just feed them down into the chamber. And battery powered would turn the pump that would puff out the air, and so you could just and shoot with these little Uzis. They were a lot of fun. A lot of kids I remember at the time were using the pistol, where you had to rack the slide, and that would pump the air into, well, use the pump to put the air into the chamber, and then you could pull the trigger and shoot. So, ours were, they had their advantages. Some people say they didn't hit as hard, but at a certain point it doesn't really matter because it still stings. And so we had several airsoft battles, and typically they'd just be, you just run around the outside of the house shooting each other with them. And there were some moments that stood out for me during that time. I did not like getting hurt. I was very scared of pain when I was little, and so I would, in the middle of summer, put on a snow coat and snow pants and a motorcycle helmet. I think we eventually got some airsoft, like full-headed airsoft helmets, and this was my airsofting gear. So me and my brother are going to go play airsoft. I'm getting my stuff on, so he goes out before me. So I run out to the front of the house, and I'm hiding behind some mailboxes that we had, these big brick mailboxes that were just the style in our neighborhood. And I'm waiting to see my brother come around from the backyard or something. Then all of a sudden, there's just a lot of stinging on my back. My brother, rather than go and stay in our yard, he ran across the street to our neighbor's yard, saw me hiding there, and came up from behind and just unloaded into me. My parents were on a walk at the time when they saw this go on, and my mom was going to say something to my dad. I was like, no, let him surprise. Let him get his surprise in. And well, I got it. So that was quite a stinging experience then. Some other interesting things during that time is we would use the garbage cans where you could kind of roll around and it made mobile cover that you can shoot from. So it's kind of like a fun little advancing tank wall thing that you could have. I remember we chased my youngest brother, I think it was, or maybe one of his friends, into the garage, and they're hiding behind our garage door, and so we just were unloading all our airsoft guns into the door. It wasn't ever going to break through, but it chipped up the paint. I don't know if my parents ever realized that that's why that door was so chipped up. It wasn't just because it was facing the sun side of that side of the house faced the sun, so it's just sun damages. No, but it got all chipped up because unloaded into the airsoft stuff. Unloaded in by airsoft BBs. So those were a few little memories. And I remember one Christmas there wasn't any snow on the ground and it was actually pretty warm. So we got a bunch of the neighborhood kids together and their dads and older siblings and whatnot, and we went and had to this old train track that ran out kind of behind the neighborhood where there was just like a bunch of wild brush grown up that had grown there and different stuff because you can't build right up next to the train track. And so we had a little airsoft game out there. I can't remember if we played Capture the Flag or what. And it's just fun. I mean, not a whole lot I can really think of happened that time. People moving through the grass or along the train tracks shooting at each other. Something we all found that, disappointingly, the tall grass was thick enough it would stop the airsoft BBs. So you couldn't blind fire into the grass and hit people because it would just be stopped. And I had a like a M16 styled airsoft machine gun at that time, and so my goal was to cover the flag and shoot anyone who came to get it. Well, that doesn't do much good when you can't fire into the bushes to hit people. It might as well basically just be hitting a wall. So it not too many interesting stories happen at that, but still it's just a fun experience, just everyone getting together. I mean, there was like maybe 20 of us or so for this big impromptu airsoft war on Christmas Eve, or rather Christmas Eve day. That M16 styled airsoft gun I mentioned, when I first got it, I used it. We were running around the yard playing it, and I shot my youngest brother with it, and it left a big trail of welts across his back. My mom was so mad, she wanted to take that and shoot me with it. But yeah, so she was very upset that I gave my little brother welts, and it's like, we shoot each other with these. But no, it was the baby, so that was bad. We brought our airsoft guns once on vacation when we went to visit my family or my grandparents in California, and we were sitting. They live kind of near a little hiking canyon and such, and so we were sitting in the backyard, and we would shoot at like different plants and such that we could see. And some birds came flying over the house, and we just immediately started shooting up there. And once again, with my little machine gun, I started shooting up there, and I think I tagged one because it started kind of wavering when it got hit. It likely didn't do any real damage, it just scared it. But yeah, we hiked up in the canyon with that, trying to see what we could find to shoot. Sometimes it'd be trash that people had left up there, like soda cans or beer cans and such. Rabbits that we would try and hit scurrying around. My grandma, she hated the rabbits because they'd come into her yard and eat her flowers. So she's like, yes, get them. I won't kill them. She's like, well, sure. She did not like the rabbits that would come and eat her flowers. So that was kind of fun. And hiking out of the canyon, we see like no campfires, no motorbikes, and no airsoft guns up there. We're like, oops. So yeah, we didn't get in trouble with that, but that's kind of funny finding that on the way out. So yeah, a few stories with kind of airsoft. It's kind of weird how it's not a thing anymore. Like, I remember back in the day, you could go to Walmart And in their kind of sporting goods section, they had just a whole bunch of different airsoft guns and such that you could get there. Now, I don't think they sell them at all. So it's just kind of interesting how that has come and gone. But Nerf is still around. Nerf remains. And probably with very good reason, because Nerf is awesome. So if airsoft guns were for the outside, then Nerf guns were for the inside. In our family, we love to do Nerf wars with each other. We're split up the family, and it typically turns into upstairs versus downstairs because we had 2-story houses. And stairs just make a choke point that is really hard to get up or down from. So you technically could go up and down if you wanted. It's a choke point. It's really hard to advance through that. So it turns into people positioning like at the balcony or whatever and taking pot shots at each other. The people on the ground try to arc stuff up over and hit those on top, and those at the top try to find a line down that they can hit someone when they pop up to take a shot. So lots of fun during that time, doing kind of those battles. And the fun thing with the Nerf guns is, aside that you can just shoot them inside, that they've gone on for a very long time. So there's a lot of different models that you could use. So like some are full auto, some you have to pull the slide back to pump them. And if you get even older, you have the old ones where you have to like pump the little like a bicycle pump thing, the plunger. You have to pump that up to get enough air into the tank so that you could fire it. And so we never wanted to use those in the battle because you basically had to do your prep work beforehand before you could shoot it, and it wasn't ever going to last very long. So yeah, we tried to avoid those. We really liked the 6-shot kind of revolvers ones, because you could just pull the slide back and you're good to go with that. So then in my late teenage years, we did not so much paintballing, but I have a friend where we did this a few times. We didn't have paintball guns, we had slingshots, and we'd go and have a slingshot paintball match with each other. And at the end of kind of every game where we'd play a couple rounds where if you get hit, you're good out, we'd have what would be a free-for-all endurance match. And I was very good at those, or at least just the ones that we've been in. Because just for whatever reason, I could get, if as a kid, didn't like pain. Now as an older, bigger guy, it's not like I like pain, it just doesn't bother me as much. So something changed along the way. Maybe I just got big and fat, so it doesn't. I got a lot of cushions now, but I was typically very good at those, and you can just take a beating. Me and my youngest brother, the one I put welts on, we did a round with those, and we tied because both of us have the same kind of tanky build where we can just stand there and unload into each other. And I say unload into each other, the truth is neither of us are very good shots, so we'd miss more often than we would hit. So it's not like you can just keep we could just keep tagging each other rapidly until we overwhelmed them and someone got done with it. It's like we'd hit them, miss the next 3, at which point like, yeah, fine, whatever, go ahead, hit me with that 4th one. So that was just some fun there, and just kind of the arc of how things changed over time. It started with Airsoft, and then Nerf was mixed in with that, and then we did some paintballing stuff, and then Nerf is still mixed in. So yeah, if you want a lot of family fun, get yourself a couple of Nerf guns. They are a great way to spend time together as a family and teach hand-eye coordination and grace under pressure. I remember doing a Nerf gun battle with some other friends or whatnot, and one of them needed to reload his gun, so he's freaking out as he's trying to get darts and put them into the barrel of his gun, and I'm just calmly loading mine up. Just because, it's like, yeah, been shot at these a whole lot. Don't have to really worry too much. So, yeah, grace under pressure, which is, I think, a very good skill set to have throughout your whole life. because there's obviously things that are going to stress you out. But yeah, well, so kind of like I said, this was a drawing that I struggled with to come up with a good idea and themes, and in a funny way, this video kind of was the same thing, because I was like, I don't know what I want to talk about this month. Because last month, following that up with the cancer story, that was such an interesting but peculiar time in my life. And so it's like, what did I follow that up with? Let's follow up with some silly Nerf gun stories. And maybe that's the correct answer. Maybe, the bad stuff in life is easier to stand out and remember. You should try and hold on to the good stuff. And so I suppose if there's anything to take away from that, it's, in your life, try and make good memories and hold on to those good memories. Preferably ones with your family, because they'll be around with you the most. So, thanks for joining me for this month's video. I think it's a little on the shorter side as these go, but that'll be it. So yeah, you could come read Gnosis. It's free, it's fun, it's good. There's some good memories there. If you want this drawing and the Patreon exclusive, you could become a Patreon member and help support Gnosis. For only $10 a month is the current max. You can also do like $5 and get just this drawing, or $1 for a nice little tip. I'm trying to reach a goal by the end of the year of $100 a month. It being September, so there's 3 months left. I'm not really good at talking and doing math, nor am I good at talking and spelling. There's a real nightmare to see. But yeah, so 3 months left to reach that goal. I don't think I'm going to hit it this year, but hey, anything can happen. So, thank you, and hope you have a great day. Bye.